Hello, this is Dora Tarver from e-projectmanagers.com, here today with a video tutorial on resource leveling. Now, I want to point out that this tutorial is just a good introduction to resource leveling. I actually go into a lot more detail in my video coaching series. So if you can get aboard of the video coaching series, then I think you'll be able to benefit from all the detail that I provide there. But nevertheless, I want you to understand that after you've developed your project schedule, and I have an example schedule here, you put your project name or your program name, you have your project lifecycle phases, and as you see when I expand these phases, these are just placeholders. I have milestones in here just as an example of what a project schedule would look like. So once you've identified your tasks and your dependencies, these are the predecessors for the tasks, then the next step is to assign resources. I went ahead and did this just for speed's sake, but to assign your resources, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your toolbar area and right click, and you're going to make sure that resource management toolbar is showing. Mine is currently showing already. It's this toolbar right here. If I turn it off, you'll see it's gone. Again, I'm going to turn resource management on. The resource management toolbar will help you significantly as you manage your resources in your project schedule. Now, once the resource management toolbar is turned on, then what you're going to do is when you go to your tasks, when you want to assign a resource, you click on the Assign Resource toolbar button right here. And when you click on that, the Assign Resource dialog box comes up, and for this particular placeholder task, I've already assigned a couple of people here. You see them right here. It shows the information. What I do is I select their name, I assign how many units I want them to be working on this task. I can type in any amount that I choose, and the cost appears because for all of my resources I put in what their hourly rates are. So I'm going to when you click on this and you assign your resources, for example, you highlight a name, you can click on assign or just type in the information. It automatically put their name in the list here. Now I've already done that, so I'm going to go ahead and remove Harry here. I'm going to remove Harry by clicking on the remove button. There, now he's gone. I'm going to click on close, and the resources that are assigned, you can see here, they're just two people. So I went ahead and I did that. I used this resource assign resource dialog box and assigned all the resources for all the tasks in the project schedule here. Let me just expand everything here so we don't have to wait while I do that. Now, once the resources are assigned, the next step is to ensure that your resources are not working more hours in a day than what's available. So for our project schedule, we've already set the working time to be an 8-hour day, and we're not going to we're going to make sure that our resources are working within an 8-hour day. So what you're going to do, so when I go to Tools, Options, you can see on the calendar bar here that we have an 8-hour workday, 40 hours a week, and if anyone's working more than that, then they're over allocated. So now the best way to level resources is to click on the resource allocation view, which is actually a menu item from this resource toolbar here, and you'll see it right here in the corner, resource allocation view. When I click on that, my screen appears split. There's two sections up, one in the top, one in the bottom. And I'm just going to expand the start and finish. I added the start and finish columns in here. When you first open this up, you're just going to see the resource name and the number of hours they're working. You can just right click and insert a column and show what other details you would like. I've already done that. I also formatted my timeline. I'm not going to go through that right now, but I set my timeline so that I can see each day. Now the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to click on a resource, and when you click on the resource, notice that below here in the bottom you'll see the tasks that are assigned to that resource. So in the start and finish columns, let me expand one resource. So if I click this resource right here, you'll see in the start and finish columns the times, the dates for the tasks that he's allocated. And in the timeline over here, you'll be able to see which days he's actually over allocated. So his work starts on December 28th. And if I just back up here to December 28th. Okay, so here's December 28th. So he's not over allocated until, if I click on next over allocation, he's not over allocated until February 9th. He's working 12 hours and he's working these two tasks, which are 12 hours. And what I can do is I can manually change the resource allocation. In my video tutorial, I actually, in my video coaching series, I actually go into other methods besides the manual one. But for now, I'm going to show you with the manual one on February 9th, he's working 12 hours. However, on Monday the 8th, he appears to be only working 4.8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the hours from here and assign them to the previous day by literally just typing in the numbers in these fields. When you select the cell, you can type in the number. So doing the math, I'm going to go ahead and put, I'll move, let's say, 3.2 hours, whoops, into this cell. Which makes this now 8 hours. And I'm going to subtract 3.2 hours from this cell, from this number here, which will make this number 4.8. And so now he's over allocated an hour 0.6. So now we need to move that. So we'll take 1.6 from here, which will make this 3.2. And then we'll add 1.6 here, which will make this 6.4. And now this is still over allocated. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually scroll over to some other days in the week. And we're going to add some hours to this day. We're going to add 3.2 hours here, which will make this 8 hours. And we're going to subtract 3.2 hours. We're going to subtract 3.2 hours from here, and this will make this 3.2 actually. Okay, so we're still a little over allocated, and what we're going to do is I'm going to give this person some work on Friday because they're still under allocated on Friday. So we'll add 3.2 hours here. And subtract 3.2 hours from here, and that will make this 4.8. Okay, so now you can see this. These days are now leveled. Okay, and as I can actually continue to step through to the next over allocated. Actually, I'm going to expand all of my resources here. Show all subtasks. And except for the unassigned resource, I don't really care about that person. And then when I click on the go to over allocation, it goes to the next date that this person is over allocated. And if I go back a little bit just to make sure, okay, he's working all 8 hours then. So it looks like on Monday he's only working 4.8 hours. So let me move some of the hours from Wednesday. Excuse me, on Tuesday he's working 4.8 hours. So we'll move some of the hours from Wednesday into Tuesday. So what we'll do is we'll put 3.2 hours over here, and then subtract 3.2 hours from over here, which makes this 4.8. So this is still a little over allocated, and we'll scroll over to the right and move some of these other hours into Friday since he's underallocated there. So looking at Friday, what we'll do is we'll put at least 1.6 hours here because we know that he's overallocated that amount. And subtract 1.6 from here, which makes this 3.2. And then we can move 2 hours, an hour 0.6 over from here. So let's subtract 1.6 from 8, and 1.6 from 8 is 6.4. And we'll add that here. So this becomes 3.2. And we're still a little over allocated, so we'll subtract 3.2 from here, which makes this 3.2. This will be an 8-hour day. And then we'll scroll into the next week for this task. And add 3.2 here. And now that's an 8-hour day for all those tasks. So this is just an example of manually changing, manually leveling resources. And believe it or not, it is best to manually adjust rather than to use project to automatically calculate. And I go into more detail again in my video coaching series on why that's the case. But one of the things you'll notice is as you step through your schedule, you'll become more familiar with your project schedule, and this is very important. So take the time to walk through, use this toolbar. It's very handy for stepping through your overallocated tasks, and you'll find that if you use it, you'll be able to quickly level resources and manage your schedule successfully. Thank you for your time and have an excellent day.